Alrighty, sixth grade mathematicians, here we are. We're going to be taking a look at chapter 6, lesson 3. We're going to be taking a look at measures of variation. So we looked at measures of center, which deals with mean, median, mode. We talked about a statistical question. So now we're going to bring it all back together and take a look at another piece of data. This is going to be broken up into two parts because there's more math involved in the measures of variation. So you're going to see two videos. Not sure if you'll see them back to back today or if you'll do one today, one tomorrow. It just depends. So just make sure you're taking a look at whatever the homework is assigned to make sure you're doing what is being asked. So again, measures of variation. So go ahead and I'm going to get set up. You're going to need to take a look at your page, which is 829. So we're just going to actually just first take a look at what this actually means when I talk about the measures of variation. Right here, it says measures of variation are used to describe the distribution or spread of data. Okay, so keep that in mind. They describe how values of data set will vary within single numbers. A quartile is one measure of variation. So let's take a look at what they mean by that. Flip over to this next page. Here it is. Quartiles are values that are divided into 4 equal parts. Okay, keyword quartile. One thing that we think of is we can think of quarters. Okay, it makes 4 quarters to make $1. So therefore we're talking about quarter into 4 equal parts. So it's taking a look at the distribution and dividing it equally among quartiles, 4 parts. Okay, 4 equal parts. The first, I don't know why it keeps doing that. The first and third quartiles are the median of the set of data. Okay, respectfully. So we'll talk about that. Doesn't make much sense now, but once I show an example, it will. So first and third quartiles are the median of the first part of data and the second part of the data. Okay, the interquartile range is the distance between the first and third quartiles. Again, probably doesn't make much sense right now, but we do know the word range, as I like to write it, capital R, regular A, N, G, and a very small e where we take the greatest minus the lowest. But now we're talking about the interquartile range. Okay, and then again, range, we've seen the distance between the highest and the lowest, so the difference in between, which means we're going to subtract. Now, take a look at this. This is going to be your best example of all of that vocabulary word. So measures of variation of data are shown below. So here's a set of data, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, so forth and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the median. Remember, median, M-E-D space I-A-N, because it means the middle number. So when I go in and I go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and I go all the way in, here is my median right here. This is my middle number. Well, we know since we have 2 of them, we see 3 and 4. We're going to add those up and divide by 2. Okay, and we're going to get, for this one, our median is 3.5. Okay, it's the halfway mark. So what we do is we cut that in half, and now you see that we have 2 sets of data. We have the first part of data, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. And then you have the second part of data, which is 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8. Now what you do from there is you go and you find the median of that half of data. So here we go. So I'd cut this one out, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Notice right in the middle is where my Q1 is, my quartile 1. So it's basically just finding the median of that first part of the data. So then I'm going to find the median of the second part of the data, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Notice it falls right here in the middle. That is my quartile 3. Okay, so I've got my Q1, my median, which is really known as my Q2, and then my quartile 3. Okay, I've broken up into 4 sections. Right here is section 1, right here is section 2, right here is section 3, right here is section 4. Those numbers, they are all evenly distributed, hence my quartiles. Okay, so what does this look like as we solve this problem? let's take a look at this bottom. First thing we're going to do is we are going to determine the measures of variation. So the first thing we have to do is we have to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Okay, so let's start putting them in order from least to greatest. 56, and then remember, once we're done, we're going to cross them off. Okay, and then it looks like we have a 57, cross it off. We have 58, cross it off. 59, cross it off. You are doing this exactly what I'm doing. There's 60, 61, cross it off. 62, cross it off. 64, cross it off. And 67, cross it off. And 71. So first thing I always do is I have to list my data in order from least to greatest. First and foremost, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we are going to find some of our measures of variation. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to first find the median. Okay, we're going to find the range. Then we're going to find Q1, Q2, or not Q2, geez, Q3 I meant. And then we're going to find the inner quartile range. Okay, so let's find the range first. Again, range, biggest minus smallest. So we're going to do 71 minus 56, which gives me a total of 15 for my range, just so we know it. Now we're going to find the median, just the median. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and I have 2 that are in the middle, which means I'm going to split that in half. That's my median. Okay, there's my median. Okay, so now that I've split it in half and I have 60 and 61, so since I have 2 of them, I'm going to add those together. Okay, and when I add those together, I'm going to get 121, and when I divide that by 2, I'm going to get 60.5. So my median is 60.5. Okay, now I need to find my quartile 1. So I'm going to go back to my beginning. I'm going to erase this a little bit so I have some room. Okay, I'm going to go back to my first part, and I'm going to go in my first half of my data, 1, 1, 2, 2, until I find the median of that first half of data. So there, 1, 1, 2, 2. Oh, look at that. My Q1 is right here. It's actually numbered. My Q1 is 58. Perfect. Now I'm going to come to my second. 1, 1, 2, 2. Look at that right there. There is my Q3 is 64. Now my inner quartile range, which means I'm going to take my Q3 and minus my Q1. So I'm going to take 64, I have my numbers here, minus 58, which is going to give me 6. So I have found my inner quartile range of 6. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We are going to skip the next page on outliers. We're going to go to another practice problem. So flip over to this set of data right here, okay, and we are going to find the range, find the median, the first and third quartiles, and the inner quartile range, okay? So we're going to use this right here. It says the average wind speeds for several cities in Pennsylvania are given in the table. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put these in order from least to greatest. So here we go. We are going to, I'm going to put them down here. I was trying to figure out what room, 7.5. That's the first one. The next one is 7.7. Oh, I'm sorry, 7.6. And then 7.7. And then 8.9. And then 9.0, 9.5, and 11.0. Okay, so far so good. Now, first thing we need to do is we're going to find the range. So we're going to take 11.0, which is 11, minus 7.5, which is going to give us 3.5. So our range is 3.5. That's easy. Okay, we've done range before. Now we're going to find the median, and then after the median, we'll find our quartile 1 and our quartile 3. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Oh, there's my median right here. So my median is 8.9. That means that this number is just going to stay in the middle. Okay, it doesn't get divided among, it just stays in the middle. So my median, okay, and I'm going to write median, is 8.9. The next thing I'm going to find is my Q1, and then after that, I'm going to find my Q3. So I'm going to go 1, 1. Oh, right there. There is my Q1 is 7.6. 1, 1. My Q3 is 9.5. So now that I have my, again, I have my quartile 1 and my quartile 3, I'm going to find my inner quartile range, which means I'm going to take my Q3 and I'm going to subtract it from my Q1. So I'm going to take 9.5 minus 7.6, okay? And that equals 1.9, okay? We will come back to this to take a look at, some outliers, okay? But right now, what you need to know is all of this information about finding your median, and then your quartile 1 is finding the median of your first set of data, so finding the middle number of the first half, and then your quartile 3 is just finding the median of that second. And then we're just going to subtract. Super, super, super easy, but you can make a very simple mistake. So make sure that when you're doing this, you're taking your time, you have them all lined up, and you go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, or whatever strategy it is that you use to find that median of each piece of data. All right, so this is part 1 of measures of variation. The next part is going to be taking a look at outliers, which is part 2.